Good evening, Professor Darling. The restorative practice I chose is empathetic communication. I noticed that I unintentionally practiced this in the old community college that I worked with back home, which was much smaller, less diverse, mostly Hispanic students. And when I moved to San Diego and started working at the community college here as financial aid technician, which is basically help the student fill out the FAFSA and get in the documents they need. I noticed back home we actually help them fill out the FAFSA, but over here it's not really about helping them fill out the FAFSA. It's about, do you have the right documents? Yes, no? Okay, we'll come back when you have the right documents. And um, I noticed empathy is, you feel it's a connection. You recognize their perspective as their truth. And what I started doing is I started connecting with the students. I remembered when I was depending on financial aid for rent, or when certain documents didn't make sense, taxes, just everything. And I can't even imagine this diverse school, all these students that are coming from all over the world. Not only do they not understand FAFSA, they've never heard of it. So if they've never heard of something, how do you expect them to know it? You just teach it, and that's what empathetic communication is to me. You're empathizing with the person. And for me in my work, I started teaching the students instead of holding their hand and filling out the stuff for them. I taught them how to do it and make sure they understood, because every year they have to fill out a FAFSA. So I want to make sure that they learn from it. I just had a Muslim student, and no, she was not tech savvy whatsoever. She didn't know how much her husband made, but she had the taxes. I mean, she was very, very lost. And sometimes staff members roll their eyes. They're like, oh, it's one of those students that you have to do everything for them. And, they don't even have their password with them. And that's not how I view things. I could sit down with her as long as I could and help her and step by step, teach her what I'm doing on the computer. I'm making her do it. And I mean, my work satisfaction is a lot better than my coworkers, because how I communicate with the students, and I don't judge a student as those types of students. Empathy is definitely a choice according to our readings, and I like this example of one death is a tragedy, 1 million is statistics, basically meaning we show more empathy for one person versus like hundreds, like in tragedies. And I think that my coworkers have been working with so many amount of students who are so lost, and I think they just don't have empathy for them anymore. But I know that they can definitely learn it, because empathy is not a personality trait. It's not because, oh, that person is so nice all the time to the students because she's a nice person. It's not that. It's empathy is something that is learned, and I feel like my coworkers can learn from it, and that's something that this class has taught me. Um, all love, respect. It's something that we have to teach again, and I think this class definitely needs to be a mandatory class for all grade levels, because we are teaching, basically reteaching how to love, and connecting with others. And I mean, why not? Why couldn't this be a new subject? Thank you.